Morning. How is everyone? Happy Monday. We've got a lot of people piling in, so we're just going to let them get ready. Y'all come on in close. Love each other. Come on in closer, closer, closer. Okay, first of all, thank you very much for being here. We wanted to stand here basically just to have our voices heard. The first thing I want to say is, you know me as the U.S. Ambassador to the UN. But first and foremost, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter. And so I always think of my family first, as every one of the people behind me do as well. Then we go and we look at our positions. And what are we supposed to do in our jobs? Our jobs is to protect the people in our country, keep them safe, keep the peace, and do it in a way that brings no harm. Every one of the people behind me, that's our number one goal. That's the goal of our countries. So now, suddenly the General Assembly wants to have a hearing to ban nuclear weapons. As a mom, as a daughter, there is nothing I want more for my family than a world with no nuclear weapons. But we have to be realistic. Is there anyone that believes that North Korea would agree to a ban on nuclear weapons? So what you would see is the General Assembly would go through, in good faith, trying to do something, but North Korea would be the one cheering, and all of us and the people we represent would be the ones at risk. And so we've always said the United States thinks it's important to defend the citizens of our country, but just as important to defend our friends, our allies, and the rest of the countries that want peace in the world. Is it any surprise that Iran is supportive of this? It's not. And so what I will tell you is, you are going to see almost 40 countries that are not in the General Assembly today. And that's 40 countries that are saying, in this day and time, we would love to have a ban on nuclear weapons. But in this day and time, we can't honestly say that we can protect our people by allowing the bad actors to have them, and those of us that are good trying to keep peace and safety not to have them. And so with that, what we will continue to do is, we all believe in the Non-Proliferation Treaty. We all want to move forward. The United States has reduced its weapons by 85%. Is how much we've already reduced since the Non-Proliferation Treaty went into place. We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to follow that. All of us are going to continue to do that. But today, when you see those walking into the General Assembly to create a nuclear weapons ban, you have to ask yourself, are they looking out for their people? Do they really understand the threats that we have? I, in good faith, think they want to look out for their people. But I also know that everybody behind me has to be realistic. And our job is to keep our people safe. And that's what we're going to continue to do. So while we couldn't have everyone speak today, we do have a couple of people, and I want to turn it over to my friend, Ambassador Matthew Rycroft from UK.
Thank you very much, Nikki, for convening this initiative. And I want to thank all member states standing here who have expressed concern that the proposal for a nuclear weapons ban treaty would fail to address the key issues that must first be overcome to achieve lasting global nuclear disarmament. My country, the United Kingdom, is completely committed to the long-term goal of a world without nuclear weapons. And we recognise that we have obligations, as every country does, under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, in our case under all three pillars of that treaty. And we have a strong record that we are proud of on nuclear disarmament. We've reduced the size of our nuclear forces by over 50% since the height of the Cold War. The UK is not attending the negotiations on a treaty to prohibit nuclear weapons because we do not believe that those negotiations will lead to effective progress on global nuclear disarmament. They cannot and will not work. The British government firmly believes that the best way to achieve the goal of global nuclear disarmament is through gradual multilateral disarmament negotiated using a step-by-step approach and within existing international frameworks. A step-by-step approach to global nuclear disarmament is what we need to build trust and confidence. It will provide the tangible steps towards a safer and a more stable world where countries with nuclear weapons feel able to relinquish them. Finally, I just want to say that a ban on nuclear weapons will not in itself improve the international security environment or increased trust and transparency between nuclear weapon possessor states. And it will also not address the technical and procedural challenges of nuclear disarmament verification. And that is why I'm standing with Ambassador Haley today.
Right. And now we'll turn it over to Ambassador Alexis Lamek from France.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Matthew. Good morning, everyone. Let me now tell you a few words about the French perspective on this issue. My country, France, remains committed to nuclear disarmament and has undertaken substantial and concrete efforts in support of nuclear disarmament over the last years. France has ceased, definitely, nuclear testing and dismantled its testing sites. France has irreversibly ceased fissile material production for its nuclear weapons. And France has reduced by half its nuclear arsenal. The immediate prohibition of nuclear weapons is inconsistent with the progressive approach of nuclear disarmament as provided by Article 6 of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, the NPT. Moreover, the security conditions for a prohibition treaty are not met. In the current perilous context, considering in particular the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and their means of delivery, our countries continue to rely on nuclear deterrence for security and stability. The only way to achieve real nuclear disarmament is to pursue a step-by-step approach in a way that provides undiminished security for all. This should take into account all factors that affect strategic stability. We are also concerned that a nuclear weapons ban treaty will divide the parties to the NPT, which remains the cornerstone of our collective security system. France will therefore not participate in the negotiation on a nuclear ban treaty along with other partners. However, we will pursue our efforts in favor of international security and stability, including non-proliferation. We will focus. Yes, yeah, it looks like. We will focus on practical steps in favor of nuclear disarmament efforts, and we will participate actively in the upcoming discussion in 2017 and 2018 at the United Nations to prepare the negotiation at the Conference on Disarmament of a treaty banning the production of fissile material for nuclear weapons, what is called the Fissile Material Cut-Off Treaty. The early entry into force of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, continuous reduction of US-Russia strategic arsenals are also important priorities, as well as efforts in favor of the verification of nuclear disarmament. I thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. And so with that, I stand here as a family member with all of these family members who want to keep our families safe, who want to keep our country safe, and who want to keep our allies safe. And so we stand here united in the fact that one day we will be standing here. And one day we will hope that we're standing here saying we no longer need nuclear weapons. But today, in this day and time, in the situations that we're in, we unfortunately don't have the ability to do that. So I want to thank all of the countries that will not be attending today. Those almost 40 countries are showing their commitment to their people, their commitment to their countries, and their commitment to safety and freedom and peace in the future. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.